Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy back over here with another video. Today we're going to be installing drilled and slotted rotors on my Lexus IS 350 over here. I already have new rotors on them, as you can see down here. But I was going to originally put some drilled and slotted rotors in the first place. But the shipper that shipped them to me, they're just from eBay as well. They're nothing special, but the guy who shipped them to me before only shipped me one rotor instead of both. And at that time I already had pulled out the brake pads and everything, and I was just too deep in it, and before I even opened the box, so I just went to my auto parts store and got some rotors. And here's the other, and they didn't even make me ship the other one back, or they didn't even send me the one I needed. They just shipped me two new ones. Pretty crazy. So I still have this one over here, just one single one, just chilling over here. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, if you guys need a front side drilled side rotor, let me know, guys. Alright guys, so the tools that you will be needing for this install are a 17mm wrench. If you don't have a 1/2" impact like I do to get your wheels off, you will need a 1/2" breaker bar and your key for your wheels. I have aftermarket wheels, so I need a 19mm socket to fit my key in there. But I believe the stock lug nuts are like a 21 or a 22, somewhere around there. And then you also need some brake cleaner. And here are the parts we are installing. They are labeled, so you shouldn't have to worry about what side goes where. But alright guys, get this started. You get your car jacked up and on jack stands, next thing you want to do is take off the wheels. Next thing you want to do is go behind the caliper. You're going to see this little pin and this little back brace looking thing. Over here there's this little cotter pin that you need to take out to get this pin out. So just grab like a little screwdriver and just get it out. Guys, once you get those things out, just put them to the side. Just make sure to put them somewhere you won't lose them. So just right there, they'll be fine right there. So I have basically brand new brake pads, so I'm not really worried about replacing these. But if you were going to replace your brake pads, what I do is, if you're not going to keep the rotor, I would get in between here and get a screwdriver and just try to squeeze them in there in between the brake pad and the rotor, and just pry them towards over there, so you could compress the piston of the brake of the caliper. That way it'll be easier to fit in the new one, because it's kind of hard with these 4-piston ones to compress them back in there, because with the tools it doesn't really fit in there. But either way, I'll show you guys some tricks on how I do it. Guys, I just turned my wheel just so you guys get a better look at it. But next step you want to do is either take off the brake pads if you can, or else just wait and take off the brake caliper. But I'm just going to take them off first since they're brand new, and it'll be a lot easier. Then after that, there's these two 17mm bolts back here, right here, and down here. that you want to get off with your wrench. After you get those bolts off, you can basically take off the caliper over here and just place it. If you have like a bucket, just place it on top of it, just like that. If you can, just try to squeeze it over there, but it's pretty big, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Or just hang it up with the hanger on the strut. Sorry about the music. My neighbor's playing in the background. Sorry if you can hear it, but can't really do much about it right now. Alright. Since mine are brand new, they're just gonna come off pretty easily. But if they were pretty stuck on there, if you weren't gonna keep them, you can either hit them with the hammer until they come off, or you get a bolt and just put it in here and then just tighten it down with the ratchet or impact until it comes off, and it'll just come off pretty with ease. Alright guys, so before you install the rotor onto the car, you're gonna want to grab a rag and some brake clean and just spray it off, and then with the rag just run through it. You're gonna want to do that with the back side as well. Sometimes they have some protective glaze on it that you don't want that to be on the new brake pad once you install them. Just a quick run, some brake clean, it'll be all good. Guys, once you sprayed them with brake clean and ran them down with the rag, what I like to do is just put 2 lug nuts on them to keep them in place. So it just makes it easier once you put the caliper back on, so it can stay in place instead of just moving everywhere. Once you guys got that on, you're going to want to put the brake caliper back on. Let's get Alright guys, once you get to here, I like to leave this a little loose just to give the brake pads a little room to get in there. If you were going to compress the pistons of the caliper before you put this on, I would grab some lock channels, and I would, when it's out, just hold the brake caliper and stick the old pad back here where it was, and just from the caliper to the pad, just squeeze them down here to compress the piston. If you do have painted calipers like I do, just be careful not to scratch it up or anything. Just put a rag in between over here, between the lock channel and the caliper, so you won't scratch it up. But that's how I did them. Or else before you took off the caliper, just try to, with the screwdriver, just pry them in there with the old rotor and just try to compress them in there. Alright guys, now we're gonna put our brake pads in there. So when you install the brake pads, the one with this metal clip on it, it's gonna go on the inner side of the caliper, and the one without it, it's gonna go on the outer side. Alright guys? So once you got the brake pads in there with the brace and the pin and the cotter pin, you get to go ahead and tighten down the caliper now. Alright guys, so once you got those tightened up, you're pretty much done right there. That's all it took. Pretty easy, huh? It is getting pretty dark, so probably won't show the other side because you probably won't be able to see nothing. And I'll just try to get it done real quick before it turns to darkness completely. But yeah, there you go. Just before you take off with your car, just make sure to pump the brakes a couple of times just to compress the pads back into place with the rotors. But other than that, pretty much done. It has been a couple of days since I last did my rotors, just because I haven't had time to record. But here's what the finished product looks like. Came out really nice. I like how it looks too. It looks a lot better than just some plain rotors. But yeah, but once you guys put your wheels back on and everything, just don't forget to torque your wheels. I torque mine at like 85 foot-pounds. Should be fine around there. Alright guys, well that pretty much completes today's video on the Jordan Solider rotors. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. And also if you guys could give a like to this video, that would be really appreciated. I have a lot more things coming. I have one big install coming soon. Pretty hyped about it, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I mean, if you like what you see, please subscribe. And thank you guys for watching.